Family Dynamics by Maddie Olson. Why I chose family dynamics for my topic is because my childhood was not a typical childhood. My family dynamics were all over the place, and I was constantly explaining it to other people, and they constantly did not understand my family dynamics. My siblings. So this is my brother Jake. We have the same mom and dad. This is my brother Parker. We have the same dad but different moms. That's me. That is my brother Phoenix. He is my stepbrother. And that is my brother Orion. He is my stepbrother. And then those two are full brothers. So not the average family, definitely a blended family. However, now these two brothers of mine, our parents are not together anymore, but they were together for many years, so they still are like brothers to me. Another reason is my boyfriend has a 5-year-old son, so I essentially have a stepson. I chose this topic so that I can be there for my future students who also have difficult family dynamics, so that I can be there for them and support them and know how to talk to them about it. I chose this topic so that I know what resources to have in my classroom to help support them, like I was saying, and to have a different variety of family dynamics available for different literature and books and stuff. I also chose this topic because I attend counseling because of my family dynamics and how complicated it is. So I want to be there for my students so that they maybe don't have such a hard time with all of the different changes and things that I had going on when I was a child. My research on divorce, something that I read said, this interruption in their daily focus can mean one of the effects of divorce on children would be seen in their academic performance. So lucky for me, my family dynamics did not affect my academics. However, for my full brother, Jake, it really impacted his education, and because of that, he ended up not graduating high school. So a big impact on his education all throughout. So I want to be more educated on it myself and how to support my students so that this doesn't happen to them as deeply as maybe it would if there was a teacher that wasn't as supportive or open or educated on how to support their students during this difficult change. I learned that during divorce specifically, I know there's a lot of different family dynamics, but I chose divorce to really focus on. Something that changes for them is they're trying to learn different parenting styles. You know, at mom's house, they could be allowed to do this, and at dad's house, they could be allowed to do this, and things can just be different. So that's hard to learn and juggle for children. I learned that children will often feel guilty and angry, destructive. They might lose interest in some things that they before had a lot of interest in, and then they could become sensitive as well. So a lot of different emotions and things to look for in the classroom with children maybe going through their parents getting a divorce. And then another thing that I learned while researching the topic was that children that experience their parents getting a divorce often lose faith in marriage and family themselves, so they decide they don't want to get married or have a family because of their experience with their parents being divorced. And I thought that was important because I want to make sure that I encourage my students to not feel that way in an understanding manner as well. How literature can be used to discuss divorce. Obviously divorce, for parents is an uncomfortable topic, and so some parents might not know how to explain it to their children, because it is a harder topic to explain. So children could be used to help the kids understand better and help the parents explain it to them as well. It could also offer visuals for children, so they can see what a split family would look like, or getting off of the topic of divorce, it could help children understand different types of family dynamics, like different parents raising different children and different siblings in the house and things like that. It could help parents explain divorce to their children with good terms and good terminology, instead of just saying things and having it coming out the wrong way, because a lot of parents aren't going to know how to explain divorce to their children. And then something I found very interesting was what bibliotherapy means. So bibliotherapy means that using literature to help cope with like a life event or issue. So literature can be used to help cope with it. And then there are different different types of bibliotherapy. So there's clinical bibliotherapy and developmental bibliotherapy. Clinical therapy bibliotherapy is the use of literature and books in like therapy or counseling. And then developmental bibliotherapy is the use of literature, books in a classroom, or like having teachers use them to help explain a hard topic like that. My first book that I chose was All Families Are Different by Jake Bastien and Daisha Lyons Bastien. And this book is about Dahlia's friends and her realizing that her friends' families are all different. Like they have different like parental like dynamics. So for example, some of her friends had single parents. There was grandparents raising their grandkids. There was families that had two moms instead of a father figure. So I really liked that because those are all things that we could have our students have as families. So that was cool. My second book that I chose was Family Changes, Explaining Divorce to Children by Asmara H. Maker, who also has a PhD. This book was validating for both children and adults. Included in this book, there was a parent guide about how to talk to your children about your divorce, which can be very useful because it can be stressful for parents to try to figure out how to explain to their children and not have them feel the grief and the anger, and how to have them really understand. This book has a lot of like positive and gentle approaches of explaining it to children, as well as helping the parents explain it. And then there was a list of possible questions that children may have so that parents can prepare for those questions. The third book I chose was Why Do Families Change? Our First Talk About Separation and Divorce, written by Jillian Roberts. This book was very like honest and matter of fact. It didn't like sugarcoat things, so that kids could really understand what was going on without them, having a lot of curiosity and uncertainty. This book again was also helpful for children and parents. Included as like a small story so that children feel less alone and they can be I feel like they're being, or like they're not different. They're more, like it's more common than they think, and like more understood. And then these are my 5 references, my 2 from the previous slides and then 3 additional.